yéen ñii di ñu seetaan jaaree ko ci YouTube su ngeen bëggee jot suñu publication mën ngeen abonné Al Mouridiyyah TV te bu leen fàtte laal cloche bi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي سدد لساني نوّر جناني صفي أمان وزد برائي barke borom Touba. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Viewers of Al Mouridiyyah, welcome to your show. In the name of Allah the Almighty, in the name of Al Malik, the King, the true King, the King of mankind, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness Muhammad is his final prophet and messenger. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the longest and healthiest life to our Khalif Sheikh Muhammad Muntaha Mbake. I am honored to be joined again today by my scholars and Jorin, Serigne Mahmoud Ban, Serigne Moussa Sow, and Serigne Pa Assane Diouf. And we are here to talk about SOKHNA Mame Diarra Bousso as we look forward to the Magal of Porokhane. Our topic of today is, of course, about SOKHNA Diarra, but exactly her role as a Muslim woman. So the topic is SOKHNA Mame Diarra Bousso, a universal model of the ideal Muslim woman. So before any further, I'm going to give the floor to my guest. And we have the privilege today, as I said earlier, to have Serigne Pa Assane Diouf as a commentator or the chronicle of our show today. It's a real honor to have you among us today. So Bismillah, Serigne Jorin Mahmoud Ban, for the introduction. As I said, we are here to talk about SOKHNA Mame Diarra Bousso, her life, her values, what we can learn from the story of SOKHNA Diarra Bousso. In the introduction, can you tell us about the importance of such a topic today?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. By the name of Allah, the most merciful, the compassionate, may peace be upon his prophet and his companion. May God bless again and again our venerate guide, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, the most privileged servitor of the prophet. Peace be upon all the Muslims who are viewing this wonderful show on Al Mouridiyyah. My warm greetings to the Khalif of Murid, Sheikh Muntaha al-Bashir. May God give him a longer and healthy life. And he achieve his ambition towards Islam in general, but Mouridism in particular. I would have a tribute to our guide, our Jorin, Serigne Atou Diagne. May the Lord have mercy on his soul.
Amen.
Okay, to my warmly greetings to all my co-disciples here, my co-presenters, mainly Serigne Assane, whom I said it is an honor to share this wonderful
He's
show.
Your idol.
Yes, he is my reference.
He's our reference.
My co-disciple Serigne Moussa Sow. And thank you, Seydou, for this invitation. Okay, and I'm very happy to share with you this wonderful theme on the work and the biography of SOKHNA Mame Bousso Jariyatullah. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this introduction. I'll give the floor now to Serigne Moussa for his introduction.
In the name of God, the Almighty, the Merciful, I'm very delighted to be here today to face to you so this wonderful day. I wish long life and good health to our Khalif Muntaha Mbake for the best. And so I'm greeting all of you, Mr. Saidusi and Mr. Ban, and all my warm greetings to our supervisor, our guest, Mr. Sen.
Our teacher, mashallah.
Okay, Mr. Diouf, Mr. Diouf. I'm very happy. So this topic is very important, really, talking about the life of a pious woman, SOKHNA Mame Diarra Bousso, which is really universal. So we will be very delighted, very open to answer questions.
Mashallah. Thank you very much for both of you for your presentation. Dear teacher, you are today here with your students, mashallah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslima. In the name of Allah, the Clement, the Merciful. Peace and blessing be upon his messenger, the Prophet Muhammad, his family and his companion. Long life and an iron-casted health to our Khalif, Sheikh Muntaka Mbake. Seydou, today I'm very happy, very glad to be here with you, who is your guest, to share with you about a very important topic, a topical issue, if I can say so, a topic that really humanity as a whole needs at the time we are living now. So I'm very glad, I'm very happy to share it with Mr. Ban.
For sure.
Perhaps it is the first time, but I know how tough he is concerning the Mouridiyyah. Mr. So also, whom I have known for a very long time now, and I witnessed that she is always dedicated to doing research on Mouridiyyah. So I congratulate him also on that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for your gratefulness and the nice words, and thank you again for being always here as an inspire, as a reference for all the young Murid we are today. Mr. Ban, as I said earlier, our topic is about Sokhna Diarra Bousso as a woman and who's a role model. But the issue is we still take it in the context of Islam as a whole. Yeah. Islam, woman has always got an important place in Islam. What can you tell us about the origin of women's story in Islam, back to the time of prophets or before?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. So, said Mr. C, for this important question. I think when we go back to history, we are going to talk to tell about the historical background of the importance of women in Islam.
In Islam,
you know, before Islam, there was no concern about women, but after the arrival of Islam, women they had a wonderful place in Islam, because as you know, the first woman who sacrificed her life in Islam. The first person who sacrificed her life in Islam was a woman, and that was Sumaya. And the first one also who believed in Muhammad,
peace and blessing upon him,
and his message was a woman. That was Sokhna Khadija. And the woman that our prophet named as the one who the companions must take part of their must take and must learn from their religion was Sayyidatuna Aisha. You take part of your deen, of your religion from this short lady. So as we know, women they have already a great place in Islam. And when we come back to black women, when we come back to black people, we have a great figure. We have a woman whose life is valuable, and it is the mother of this great personality, this great figure, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, named Sokhna Mariama Bousso. So I think that is the historical background I would like to
definitely. Anything to add, Mr. So?
What I have to add is, as you said, the status of women is, making very important by Islam. Before the Islam, as you said, during the time of Jahiliyyah, someone who gave birth a woman or a girl, they used to bury, to bury her, because that was a shame. But when the Islam came, he gave a high status, to a woman, and so that means that woman is very important. As you said just now, the first one who sacrificed his life or her life in the world was a woman, Sumaya. And the first one who believed in the message, peace be upon him, was a woman, Khadija. So woman is very important, but what gave the importance or the values to a woman is not being a woman only, but it's just action that she has to do, she has to accomplish, and that we are going to talk about to Sokhna Diarra Bousso soon.
Let's now give the floor to Mr. Diouf for more clarification.
Thank you, Seydou. Thank you, Mr. Ban and Mr. So. I think that they are really right. If I can say so, the woman is the society as a whole. because whatever good in a society most of the time is depending on the behavior of women. And if I come directly to the Quran to share the point of Mr. Ban, Islam has given a very big importance to the woman in the society. Even if you go into the Quran, there is a surah especially dedicated to women to show how important they are. There are also some kind of women that are also mentioned in the Quran, Allah praising their good action, Maryam bint Himran, or Asiya, the wife of Fir'auna, Allah saying how high their rank is, and the blessing they will have or they will obtain in the hereafter because of their pious actions. All this mean that Islam has granted a very big importance or a very important role to the woman in society. And I sometime read Imam Khomeini one day speaking with the women of his society, telling them that you are the society. If you are good, the society will be. But if you are not, the society will not. So that shows how a woman is really the center of the society, if I can say so.
That's what people used to say. If you touch one woman, you touch her.
It is George Ardi, one of the colonizers who were here. He was an inspector who has written in one of his books, The Moral Conquest, La Conquête Morale. He said that if we dominate, if we colonize one woman, if we transform one man, it is only one unit, one person. But if we try to transform the women, it is the society as a whole that we have already transformed. So that means how important they are really in the society.
Indeed. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Show the verse of the Quran.
Exactly.
Yes, educating the mother is educating the child. Yes, exactly.
We'll talk about that maybe inshallah in our topic today between Sen Touba and his mother Sokhna Diarra and the value she transmitted. We can talk about Sokhna Diarra Bousso's life. We can talk about Sokhna Diarra Bousso's values without talking about the family. Family is very important. The Bousso family. What makes it the Bousso family so special? What is the story of that Bousso family, and how it is linked to the family of Mamour Anta Sali and other families of saints in Senegal?
Okay, thank you for this question, and thank you, Mr. Diouf and Mr. Sow, for your relevant passage. So we cannot talk about Sokhna Diarra without talking about the paternal and the maternal line, the paternal and the maternal descendants of Sokhna Diarra, because we must know about them. Okay, when we go to the paternal descent of Sokhna Diarra, we may say that goes directly to Al-Hassan, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. When we go to the maternal line of Sokhna Diarra, it goes directly to the Prophet. So that is to say, Sokhna Diarra is a true granddaughter of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that is, she is a Sharif. Like Sëñ Moussa Ka used to say it to Serigne Fallou, Sharifun bun Sharifun bun Sharifun. So by the side of her mother, she is a Sharif. By the side of her father, she is a Sharif. Sokhna Diarra's father's name was Muhammad Bousso. His father was Muhammad Tabara Bousso, and his father was Hamad. And Hamad, the father of Hamad, is Haliou al-Musobi. And Haliou al-Musobi, if you follow the line of Haliou al-Musobi, we go directly to Hassan, who is the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. So that is to say that Sokhna Diarra is a Sharif.
This is one point that makes the family so special.
Yeah, so special. And you know that the Musobe family is a great family. It is a family of valuable attitudes. Okay, if you take the maternal descent, the mother of Sokhna Diarra is Sokhna Astawalo Mbake. Sokhna Astawalo, I think Mr. Sow will come back about this. Okay, Sokhna Astawalo, his father is her father is Ahmad Sokhna Bousso. Ahmad Sokhna Bousso Mbake is the father of Sokhna Astawalo Mbake, and Ahmad Sokhna Bousso is the son of Mam Maram Mbake. So that is to say that Mam Maram Mbake is a grandfather of Sokhna Diarra, is a grandfather of Serigne Touba, is a grandfather of Mam Malick Sy, is a grandfather of Hadi Touré, is a grandfather of Mam Abdou Aziz Dabakh. That is to say, yeah, for sure. That is to say, whoever is a valuable person, is an important person, or a godly man here in Senegal, you are a relative to Sokhna Diarra. So that show the importance or the valuable of the descendants of Sokhna Diarra. But what makes the link between the Mbacké family and the Bousso family? We will go back to Serigne Khobbe Cissé. Serigne Khobbe Cissé was the father of Sokhna Khoudia Cissé, and Sokhna Khoudia Cissé was linked into a marriage with Ahmed Sokhna Bousso, and they gave Sokhna Bousso with Maram, they gave Ahmed Sokhna Bousso, and this Ahmed Sokhna Bousso is the father of Sokhna Asta Walo Mbacké. So that is the link between the Bousso family and the Mbacké family, and they were never living in the same side there at Fouta. So Sokhna Diarra was born in 1833 at Mbusobe in Golare in Fouta, and she passed away in 1866 at Porokhane, where she went to for religious for religious concerns. So that is the origin of Sokhna Diarra. Rapidly,
MashaAllah, Serigne Moussa, about Sokhna Asta Walo, the mother of Sokhna Diarra. What key values did she really transmit to her children, especially to Sokhna Diarra?
Yes, a very important point to emphasize. So I'm really proud to hear this kind of information, because that really gives me something new. Really, I do appreciate it. So we cannot say a daughter or a son without saying his or her mother, because as we just been talking, just now, an educated mother is an educated, son or daughter. Yeah. So Sokhna Asta Walo Mbacké or Sokhna Aïssatou Mbacké was special. As you mentioned just now, she was born, in the year of 1740 or 1745. 1745, and his father Ahmadou Bousso Mbacké, and is the son of Mam Maram Mbacké. Mama, who is the son of Sokhna Ndoumbé Darou Niang. Yeah. And so if you go to Ngay, over there Ngay, next to Taïf, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. So Sokhna Asta Walo Mbacké was, somebody who have maybe four children, 3 girls and one boy. The daughters are Sokhna Diarra Bousso, Sokhna Mati Bousso, and Sokhna Khoudia Bousso. And the boy was Muhammad Bousso, as the same name of his father. She was among one of the few Quranic teachers of a lifetime. He was a Quranic teacher, and without doubt, the first in Salum region. In Salum region, he was the first Daara over there. She stepped up a large religious teaching center, which was very well attended. So with both men and women, coming, from borders, from all places. So also she produced a great scholars, and she was a woman of great piety. She divided her time between the Quran standing all the day and doing night prayers. Also, he was, praying during the night as Mam Diarra did. That's why when we, said just now, an educated woman is an educated child, because her mother, Sokhna Asta Walo Mbacké, used to pray. We used to stay all the night praying, worshiping God Almighty. So she was also, making sure of the house, taking care, her husband, the disciple, and she was very open. She was, giving food to any needed, giving clothes, something like this. She was special. That is the reason why Sokhna Diarra Bousso was like this, no doubt.
It's like Sokhna Diarra is the copycat of Mam Asta Walo. Exactly the same behavior, the same way. Same behavior. They interacted with the people. Yes. Anything to add before we give the floor to Mr. Diouf?
What a good seed for a good crop.
I see Mr. Diouf is very happy. He has something. He's very full of things to say right now. But
as you said, وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبُ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ. A good seed for a good crop.
MashaAllah.
And Serigne Moussa said it. After the crop, you may have many influential and good products.
Yeah, only good fruits bear good fruit.
Ahmarun wa asyahu anjubun wa ahmaduhu samsun analana Touba. All people who are related to Mam Bara are lights.
Lights, yeah.
The other men are like stars, but the Serigne Touba who is from Mbacké is the sunlight.
Is the sunlight.
and in perspective, what makes Sokhna Diarra Bousso different from the others, because Mam Asta Wala Mbacké has given birth many, 4.
Yeah.
But why Sokhna Diarra Bousso is special? We're going to see it maybe soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
For sure.
I see the Mr.
Yes, really.
He's had to the floor. He's so happy.
I'm really I'm happy
I can see that.
For sharing, because I have really known or learned so many things today, really. But as Musa said earlier, when our Lord wants to prepare a person, an authority in the future, He also prepare his or her family before. So if you look at the family of the Bousso or the Mbacké family, as Serigne Mamadou Lamine Diop Dagana tell us in Irwa Nadim, he told us one day people were talking about there in Fouta about the tribe in Mauritania, Ali Modinala, and no doubt they were sheriff. And when they mentioned them, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba told them that they are our relatives. And that is a confirmation that the family of Mbacké and Bousso are really, they are sheriff. But compared to the Prophet, you know that Allah has also prepared all the parents, the grandparents of the Prophet Muhammad, because wal baladu tayyibu yakhruj nabatu bi iznabi, as they said. So for preparing the coming of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba also, Allah has chosen his parents, his grandparents, and his great-grandparents. Yeah. That is why if you look them in their behavior, in their knowledge, in their social relation with people, in their everyday life, there is no doubt that they were all holy and pious persons. Why? Because they were preparing the coming of someone who will be really a kind of a reference for all the universe. So from all the information really that I have already taken from them, no doubt God was preparing the coming of one person, and that person was no one but Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba himself.
MashaAllah. Not only was she surrounded by a good family, but she received a good name. I mean, the namesake of Mam Diarra Bousso. Can you tell us about the namesake, the person whom the name was given, her name was given to Mam Diarra?
Okay, for sure. The namesake, you know that the namesake is something very important.
It is.
If you have a child, you must choose the right and the good one.
Choose it carefully.
Yeah, carefully. Don't take any names that you want. The namesake of Sokhna Diarra is the mother of the Prophet Isa, Sokhna Maryam, whom Serigne Touba has dedicated a whole Hasidah telling about, praising about her life, praising about her attitude as a woman. And I think she is the only person who gave birth to a child without knowing a man. And this is one of the miracles of Allah. So
it is.
Yeah, this is and in the Quran, and I think she is cited 43 times. 43 times, and that shows the importance of the life of the woman, the woman whom Sokhna Diarra takes the name after. So, wa inni samaituha Maryam, ya Maryam anni laki haza. So that shows that, okay, the namesake of Sokhna Diarra was a good and a valuable woman. So I think Serigne Touba, as I said, okay, he has dedicated a whole Hasidah to this woman, highlighting God's blessing, the favor towards Maryam as a woman of reference. So this is the namesake.
The namesake of Sokhna Diarra, Maryam. You know, you can belong to a holy family, a good family, as like the family of Bousso, but the upbringing, the education, the environment is very important. Sayyid Musa, please tell us about the early life of Sokhna Diarra and her upbringing, the way her parents made sure that the values was transmitted.
Yeah, a very important point. The upbringing a child, is the most important things. Because if you see the problem in the world nowadays, the sources or maybe where that come from the problem is the education,
The upbringing.
the upbringing. So Sokhna Jaara Bousso was brought up in the pure Muslim tradition, as her mother was a teacher, Quranic teacher, and he was also mastered the Quran at home. It's her mother who taught her the Quran.
Okay.
And combined the theological sciences. He was having education of the theological sciences, jurisprudence, grammar, every kind of field, in the Islam's, religion.
And all this was taught by her mother.
Yes, by her mother. Even at an early age, she embodied all the value that should characterize a Muslim woman, because she was taught how a Muslim woman should
behave.
Because she was preparing her, if ever she joined her house, her married maybe one day, how to behave over there. And knowledge, piety, like righteousness, exclusive submission to God, the supreme guide, Sokhna Mariama Bousso also was commonly known as his generosity.
Yeah.
And because her mother taught her how to be generous towards people, people you know and people you don't know. And we can say that he was very, very, very attached to how can I say, to worshiping God. As we used to say it, he used to pray the night, all the night. And at the time, when Touba was very young, because she was taught at the early age that a good Muslim should have the habits to worship God the night, but never sleep all the night.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
Yes, and rapidly to come back to the namesake and the upbringing of Sokhna Jaara.
Okay, thank you again once more, Seydou. The namesake Sokhna Mariama Bousso of Sokhna Mariama Bousso was really, as Mr. Ban said, Sokhna Mariama, the mother of the Prophet Jesus Christ. And she was really a kind of a miracle of God, because she was the woman Allah has chosen to give her a son with no father. And before her birth, her mother herself used to ask his Lord to give him a son. So he thought that she would have a son, but when she appeared, she was a girl. But her mother was really devoted to give her to Allah and let her with her uncle Zachariah there in the temple worshipping God. And it is from that time that her uncle Zachariah himself perceived that this woman is a kind of a miracle from our Lord. And when she came now older to have a son, Allah sent Jibril to tell her that the ruh of Allah will go by her and he would be a prophet. So that was a miracle. He was a very holy woman, and it is from his qualities, his devotion, her qualities, her devotion, that Allah has chosen her among the women of the universe. So to say how important a holy family is, the Bousso and the Mbake family, when they give name to their sons and their daughters, they also take reference to the holy and pious people of the past. That is why Serigne Mohamedou Bousso had given that name to Sokhna Mariama, in order to ask or to try to give her the qualities and the behavior of that holy woman. And that is why also Sokhna Jaara was really a very pious woman. As Mr. Sow said, her mother was a great scholar. He had a Quranic school, and people were going there to learn the most difficult sciences. Example, how to share the heritage. It is something very difficult, and Sokhna Asawalo used to teach that to other people, even if the men scholars could not really do. to tell you how that universe, that place was really a place of knowledge. That is why before the age of 14 years old, Sokhna Jaara mastered the Holy Quran. People also say that she has written next to 40 copy of the Holy Book. Handwriting. To see really how
she only lived 33 years.
33 years. But before the age of 14, he mastered the Quran, and before writing it. So really, that family and that place was really a family dedicated to worshiping God. That is why all the people who come from that family are also really very holy people.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
It is, I think, what we say, al-insanu ibn bi'atihi. Man is afraid of his environment. And Sokhna Jaara, she could not be anyone else like apart from this. Okay, al-insanu ibn bi'atihi. So and I think the Mustasawifun, they said those women who are praying, who are doing additional prayers at nights, at the long run they would have a grandchild who is remarkable among his generation. And I think,
so if you take the example of Sokhna Asawalo,
you can have Serigne Touba.
Serigne Touba was obvious.
Having
Serigne Touba was obvious.
For sure.
What I have to add is very important when somebody is maybe choosing a wife, to know where you have to go and who you have to choose is very important, really. It's not maybe choosing, nobody or somebody that you don't know exactly his family, her family, what her family was doing, something like this.
It goes back to the quotation, good seed for good crop.
Yeah, for sure.
And they also say only good trees bear good fruits.
Yeah,
MashaAllah. Mam Jaara's real name, Mariama Bousso. But people used to call her Jariyatullah. Jariyatullah is very common. Today people, Jaara, Jariyatullah. But this is not her real name. This was a title, right?
Yeah.
Jariyatullah is a title that she earned. What does it mean? What is the meaning of Jariyatullah? When did she earn it, and how did she earn the title of Jariyatullah?
Thank you for this question. I think Jariyatullah is the neighboring of Allah.
The neighbor of Allah.
The neighbor of Allah. Because the name, the real name, you said it is Mariama Bousso. So Jariyatullah is something that she obtained after a hard labor.
It's a title.
Yeah, it is a title. And since I think he had got this title, Khadim Rasul. Okay, so that is after something very special that you did in front of God, that you obtain this. You cannot obtain this kind of name easily.
This kind of title.
I think
it's a reward.
It is a sacrifice. And I think after the life, just short life, but more valuable life than any woman, that she got this name, because Sokhna Mariama Bousso, she has devoted all her life in worshipping Allah, only Allah, and she obeyed to his husband without any consent. Okay, he raised up her children in the best manner, and he was behaving in the best manner with his people, with the society. So, and that is important, giving the place that Allah deserves, your husband, your children, and the society, and your family.
We'll come back. We'll come back
okay,
to that.
Thank you.
Anything to add about the way Sokhna Jaara earned the title of Jariyatullah?
Yeah. So what I have to add is, Sokhna Jaara Bousso has given all her life worshiping God. Reading the Holy Quran. Even they said that Serigne Touba was imitating her during the night, standing all the night praying. It's once what Serigne Touba said in Huqqal Buka'u, that Sokhna Mam Jaara Bousso was, practicing.
Yeah.
Like Kanu idha layli arqa sitra dha halakin qamu sira'an li ihya'i dujannati. He said, so when the night of its darkness opaque covered the face of the world, they rose in outbursts to invigorate the dark of the night. That's what Sokhna Diarra Bousso was really, practicing till she get the status of Jaaratullaah, the neighborhood of God.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Sëñ Assane.
I think that they are really clear. Perhaps to confirm what they have said, I'm going to cite Serigne Mouhamadou Bachir Mbacké in his book Irwahu Nadim to show really how pious Sokhna Mariama was to have this name of Jaariyatullah, the name of God, of Allah. Serigne Basiru said in Arabic, wa kanat waliduha Jaariyatullah Mariama Bousso hafifatun diniyatun qaimatun bi wajibati diniha fima baynaha wa bayna rabbiha wa baynaha wa bayna sheikh imam qariniha wa kanat turabi awladaha halal muru'ati wa dini. Serigne Basiru said that, speaking about the mother of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, he was really a very pious woman, dedicated to worshipping Allah, dedicated to following his spouse correctly, dedicated to teaching her children according to the true way of Islam. He had no other activity apart from these two, Allah and his house and his offspring. In the long run, he had never been seen on any other place apart from these two places. It is next to Allah and dedicated to the master. If I say master, it is Serigne Mamour Anta Sali Mbacké, and it is Mamour Anta Sali Mbacké himself who gave the name to Sokhna Diarra. One day, after really hard work, people used to give many stories. One day, really, it was during the rain. Mamour Anta Sali was going somewhere early in the morning. Sokhna Diarra had nothing to prepare, the daily lakh she used to prepare for her, using her own luggages to prepare that and to follow the sheikh until he arrived where the sheikh was and gave him that daily lakh. It is that day that Serigne Mamour Anta Sali himself told her, really, you are the neighbor of God. You are really a very pious woman. So it is a name that she has received from her spouse, the master Serigne Mamour Anta Sali Mbacké.
MashaAllah. And since Touba was born next to God, since the mother was never of God.
It is what we say, Ma kana Muhammadan aba ahadin, walakin Rasulullah wa khadim nabiyyin. When she was about to join the family of Serigne Mamour Anta Sali, she concluded a pact, and she said, where I am going, I will have somebody. Even if he is not a prophet, if you heard the name of the prophet, you will hear his name. Because we cannot have another prophet after Muhammad, because he is the last one. But if you say Khadim
Rasul, they go together. Go ahead.
You inspired me. It is, it is a tradition in Africa or in Senegal, which I know. Whenever you are going to your family as a wife, people used to speak with you, to tell you how to behave, how you should be, etc. And they said that that day, Sokhna Diarra asked them the Holy Quran. And when they give her the Holy Quran, she opened and fell on this verse. He told them, my only problem is this, is that before Muhammad or after Muhammad, there will be no prophet. But if not, I would swear here that I can have a prophet there. And one day also people report that she was talking with Sokhna Anta Ndiaye, the mother of Mam Cheikh Anta. And Sokhna Anta Ndiaye told him, you know that in the past, the women, the co-wife did not behave as they are today, fighting for worldly possession now. But they were fighting to obtain something good next to Allah. And they say that one day Sokhna Anta Ndiaye told her that in this compound of Serigne Mamour Anta Sali Mbacké, I will obtain the sun. The sun is, the sun is over high there, lightening all the universe. And Sokhna Diarra told him, tomorrow I will answer you, because he did not also like to a kind of a discussion. The next day, during their discussion, Sokhna Diarra told to Mam Anta Ndiaye that in this compound of Mamour Anta Sali, I will obtain the sky. You know that the sky is over the sun.
It's over the sun.
Mam Cheikh Anta is the sun, really. but Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba is the sky, who is of the sun.
And
So do you see how devoted, how dedicated they were really? Okay.
And what is amazing is the sun, where do come from the rain? The rain comes from sky.
From the sky.
And when the rain comes, they are vegetables, everything that will be important for a person to,
Definitely.
Really,
I think
definitely.
women at this time, they must copy from this pastor women, like Sokhna
For
Diarra,
sure.
Sokhna Anta. And I think Sokhna Diarra, she came in the family of Mamor Ansali by Sokhna Anta Ndiaye, and Sokhna Anta Ndiaye was
This is very important to share today with our women.
We no longer see this in this kind of society.
Not at all.
Okay.
Can you share any more stories about Sokhna Diarra's interaction between people, not just between? Of course, she had good relationship. She interacted.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about Sokhna Diarra, mainly we focus on the behavior.
Okay.
And that is the most important thing. When
I
Allah praise the Prophet, he praised him according to his behavior. That's very important. So what was the behavior? How she used to interact with the people?
She was useful to everybody. She was useful to people, the society, people that was surrounding Sokhna Diarra, because they said during cold time, she prepared some wood for these people so that they can have warm. During hot time also, she prepares cold water for people so that they could refresh. And I think the most popular anecdote that people are telling about her relation with Sayyid Mamor Ansali is the fence. The fence she was holding.
We have 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
so you can continue. Yeah. But I want you to tell me today, as we look at the world with the crisis, the moral crisis, decline worldwide. What are the stories that we could share around the world that can help train the next generations?
Obeying your tutor, obeying your master, obeying your husband, obeying your guide is something very important. And Sokhna Diarra is shown as the way. And I think we must copy from these anecdotes. How come a lady or a woman can hold a fence from night to dawn?
The night long.
And the rain was
and
bursting.
The night long.
And the rain was bursting.
We don't tell them, this woman. We don't.
We don't ask you to hold the fence.
No. Or to cut their armchairs, their furniture, to prepare coffee. No. What we expect from them is to respect their husbands, and there is a false statement they are saying, and that is very unfortunately they say there is no Mamor Ansali, that's why we cannot have Serigne. No, I think that
unfortunately, I think we'll keep some of the questions until the day of the Magal.
The importance of this theme is we can develop our countries after copying from the values, the attitudes, the behavior of this kind of people, like Sokhna Diarra. So, and Porokhan Center is doing a wonderful work because they are training many ladies about it.
This time I'm going to ask a question to my jury because I'm sure he's going to summarize everything. We will keep some of the questions until we meet in Porokhan for a Magal, of course, if we meet there. Does Senegal today stand a chance in training and nurturing a new generation of Mame Diarra Bousso, of young people, new generation people like Mame Diarra Bousso? Does Senegal stand a chance today?
Really, we do not, but we should. Yes, because as we can see now, there is a kind of a mess in our society because we don't have really good references. So we should return to the roots to copy from this example, as Mr. Ban said. Sokhna Diarra as an educator, if every woman in our society tried to imitate Sokhna Diarra as an educator of his family, all the society would be a very good society. Serigne Bassirou used to tell in Irwa Nadim also, in Minanul Bakhil Khadim, that during nights, instead of letting her child or her children doing everything not important, she used to gather them and told them the history of very good and pious people in the past. And one day he told them that that the pious people used to pray, to worship God in the night.
That's from that day on.
And from that day on, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was not even 7 years old. He was 5 years. He started praying.
From that day, he was started praying.
So do you see how important the woman as an educator in the society should be? So women should be educators in the society.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Thank you very much. You can, of course, say something about it, and at the same time, you can say your last word.
Yes, what I have to add is that just now, women is the school of the society. When the woman is educated, children will be educated. That's the reason why it's very important to know how to choose your wife. And because women are pillars of society, as wives and mothers, they play significant part in the progress of nations. Accordingly, they should be aware that their offspring will be what they make out of them. Through their behavior, they should realize that open the conscious or unconscious way, they fulfill their educative, social, and moral spiritual duties will depend the status good or bad of their children.
MashaAllah.
So they have, because the woman, they are the hope of the world. They are the hope of the world. It's like, how can I say, when the sky is
cloudy.
It's cloudy. We are going to wait for a rain, and this rain maybe will make grow up the how can I say, vegetables, grass,
trees,
fruit, something like this. That's very important. So I do a kind of appeal to stretch my hand to say that we have to educate our children. Effectively the girls. From not to copy the Western countries, what they show on the TV, and what they show on the TV is not the reality. Because the Western country, what they show you on the TV, is not the reality. But unfortunately, we do not believe ourselves. We do not believe our culture, and it is high time that the schools they brought the qasaid or some educational aspect in our system, to teach students how a good Muslim or how a good woman should be behaving.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brother So. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, and we have to say goodbye. Mr. Ban, your last word.
Thank you. And I think that is important of the theme, because we can be rooted and open to other civilization. As Senghor said, we can keep our traditions and be open to our civilization, but not losing ours.
Yeah, and deep rooted.
Because we must not be derooted. So that is important of the theme. We must we must implement this kind of teaching in our educational system. And I think if we do this, we can have another development, another kind of citizenship.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Seydou, for inviting us in this wonderful show.
For sharing with our teachers.
We have our guide here.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, when you called me and you said Hassan will be part of the show,
myself,
I was very
so
pleased.
Happy. Yeah.
And Mr. So also,
all of us.
He's a wonderful person.
MashaAllah.
Okay, and we learn from them. So we thank you a lot.
We look forward to having you more again
thank
on the
you
show.
For this
Mr. Ju, for the final message.
Thank you, Seydou. I'm really very, very glad to share this with you today, and about also this very important topic. And I know that we should organize so many shows about the life of SOKHNA Diarra, because it is really a book for the universe. All her qualities are really useful for humanity. So really thank you very much for sharing, and thank you also to Mr. So.
Thank you so much.
Really, he is dedicated on this, I know.
MashaAllah.
Mr. Band also, thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me today. طويل لنا عمرنا صحيح لنا بدنا وهب لنا رشد والتوفيق يا الله آمين آمين وأولنا يا ربنا حسن الختام عند الممات وحدا يوم القيامة. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the longest and healthiest life to our Khalif Sheikh Muhammad Muntaha Mbacké. Jërëjëf Serigne Touba.
yéen ñii di ñu seetaan jaaree ko ci YouTube su ngeen bëggee jot suñu publication mën ngeen abonné Al Mouridiyyah TV te bu leen fàtte laal cloche bi.